In this video I'm talking about Tools of the Titans by Tim Ferriss. Let's get into it. Beep, beep, beep. So, this is the book in question, Tools of the Titans by Tim Ferriss. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should buy this book right now. Reason number 1, look at the sheer size of this thing. There has to be at least one good idea in this book, otherwise it's a complete waste of paper. And worst comes to worst, you can always use it as weights or put it on your desk and impress people with the sheer size of it. 2 is by Tim Ferriss. If you don't know who he is, do some research. He's a crazy scientist, strategist guy that likes to do different things to try and prioritize and make the most of whatever situation it has available. Reason number 3 is because I'm telling you to. Books are relatively cheap anyway, so if you can find 1 or 2 good ideas in here, it's gonna be its value back easily. Reason number 4 is Tim Ferriss has interviewed hundreds of people, billionaires, strategists, world-class performers, and he's condensed all their secrets into one book. So it's not just the knowledge of one person, it's a collective mind that is being orchestrated. Is it orchestrated? By Tim Ferriss. And reason number 5 is download the podcast as well, because then you've got the audio format and it's a form of dual coding where you've got visual and auditory stimulations of different bits of information to try and infuse synaptic nerves in different ways. No, but seriously, a couple good reasons is it is a thick book, jam-packed of good content by billionaires, people that are very well, like they're top performers, A-class performers in different areas, and it's not just his knowledge, it's loads of different people's knowledge. There's a podcast that goes alongside it, and books are not really that expensive, and if you ever get bored, well, there is hours, if not hours, weeks and months of fun in here. Years of fun if you want to actually execute upon all the different teachings in here. This massive. Just so much good information. But look, some pages are just worthless. So you just scribble that out, forget that, and then you just go to the good stuff. Look, this one, nothing. For me, nothing of use. This one here, very useful. Orange. Good. Guys, my name is Geronimo. On my channel I'm talking about all the different things and the process that I'm going through to improve different areas of my life. Health, learning, etc, etc. Taking a holistic approach and looking at different areas of life and seeing how I can make improvements in each specific area. Today I'm talking about Tools of the Titans, which is a massive book by Tim Ferriss. If you don't know who Tim Ferriss is, look him up. He seems like a great guy. And basically what this is he's got a podcast of loads of different people that he's interviewing, billionaires, strategists, and like trying to extract all the information and get the best routines and see how they are actually doing things, looking at the things, their failures and their successes, and trying to assess kind of how he can use it, I would assume. He's got a podcast, and all the people that he's interviewed over the years, he's basically collated them all into a massive book and put all the good stuff in there for you to see. Breaking it down first in the beginning, looking at health, and then looking at finance, wisdom, etc, and things like this. And I think this is going to get you an all-round idea of how you can make improvements in health and your finance and everything like this with this book. So this is really helpful. This is a great book. One thing I have done, hope no one minds Tim Ferriss and that, is I defaced many pages because I believe that many of these pages are not necessary at all, or maybe it's just for my needs. And you can think about this with the Pareto Principle, the 80-20 principle. So what I've done is I'm trying to extract the 80% of nonsense that is not necessary for me and where I want to be going, and then I can highlight and emphasize, focus on the things that's more important in my own life, which I think is the whole point: strategizing, prioritizing, and executing on different ideas. In comparison to this one, which is Tribe of Mentors by the same person, Tim Ferriss, I don't particularly like this book. You can get it both, I would assume get them both, but they're quite a big long read, and I would not go into all this depth for the answers of many questions that he's asking over the podcasts. He asks a lot of questions because questions can be used as a tool, as pickaxes to find answers and to redirect your focuses on life. So questions are very powerful, and he's used the questions and then put this one just for a book of questions, of the answers to questions for all these famous and well-known people. But I don't particularly like this one. This one here is much better. You go through on the first page. The first pages, it's basically, it's just got loads of good stuff. So much good stuff. It's probably too much good stuff, to be honest, because I have to keep going back through it, and there's a lot to get through. The first sections has got going through different types of gymnastic exercises to build up strength and stuff, looking at what is the smallest effective dose of something that you have to do. So what is the smallest amount of something you have to do to get the same sort of rewards. And you can think about this with exercise, with doing compound movements, so you're moving multiple muscle groups, some of the major muscle groups, all at the same time. I'm getting a little bit bigger and I'm doing like loads of different exercises, but I like to do all sorts of things, I guess. My feedback on this sort of book is I've read through a lot of it, but it is such a long book. It would take me ages to get through all of it, so I haven't finished the book. But from what I've gathered so far, it is definitely worth the money, because if you can go flick through and pick 10 pages or even 5 or 3 pages, because there's hundreds of them, and then pick your favourite parts, or pick one person from each page and study them, like just these 2 pages or 3 pages on that, and you make adjustment in your life, it could be potentially life-changing. And so for £20 or whatever, it's definitely worth the bargain. If you get 10 good ideas, even one good idea is probably worth the £10. Unless about the sieving through different informations, this is the only downfall. Because it's such a dense book, it can be quite intimidating for a lot of people. So I'm not sure if that would be a good idea for some people. Maybe it's good to think smaller and then build upon that. But that's why it's good with this, because every 2 pages or 3 pages, it's just a new person anyway. And I don't know if this is going to refresh your mind looking at different elements, or it's more intimidating that it's a big book. But anyway, I've got loads of other books. I'm going to give you a passage of something. The rules are basics, and you can't beat the basics. That is like on the beginnings of loads of people's, so with their names, their description, and then it has like a nice quote as well. These are always good. I find that all the descriptions of what people have done is irrelevant to me, because it doesn't really affect the changes that I can make in my own life. So what I've been doing is I've scribbled out all of the descriptions of what people have done specifically, but only leaving like the key points within that context, because the rest is almost irrelevant, because I can't execute on any of it. And basically when I go through and I find a bit of information that I can relate to, and I think that it's interesting, or I believe it in some sort of way or shape or form, then I can go back, see who said it, and then kind of go from there. This is a great book. Buy this book, everyone. Okay, if you like this type of content, press the like and subscribe button for more future content, and leave a comment. If you've already got this book, leave a comment and tell me what your favourite page is, or your favourite learning thing that you've learnt from this book, and I might get back into and look for it. Just from when I was flicking through just now, I remember that there's a person with the rings, with like, you've got the J. Cole shoulder extensions and things like this. Take care, people, and I'll see you in the next one, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna have a good time. Time for me to make a little tea.